try. Hitman!
Good day. I'm going to talk about the swapping out calibers on your press using the Hornady Lock and Load die bushing swap out kit, whatever you want to call it at that point. But it's the Lock and Load die bushings, and they're a very nice piece of kit to have for your single stage. And setup is like getting set up for your regular set of dies. The only real difference is you got to raise them up a little bit and use this portion here. And while it's not cheap, it becomes a lot nicer when you're using these to swap between multiple calibers or multiple dies. If you're using a crimping die all the way, back to your depriming die. So the way you do it is simply that versus having to thread it all the way in there. And the way that's done is there's a nut on top of here. You get a large set of water pump pliers or a large crescent wrench. You take that out, and then you run. There's a single one that you have to get, the male side, and then you have this, the female side, that it's, I would guess, you get part A. You only require one of these parts here, the original threaded bushing. And I can't remove mine because I've actually put a bunch of drops of crazy glue in there. That way, if I need to remove it, I can remove it without having to get too crazy with heat. And then you simply put that in, give it a small turn, and it locks it into position. And it's solid. And then you do your operation with that, and then, I've got to switch to my seating die. That one comes out. You take your seating die that's also got the... And it's done. And, you got to change it off to a crimping die. Once you get these set up, you lock them down in height. I'm using some collars that do have a bolt on them, a nice positive retention, so I can spin it. Nice, and then I can lock it down in position. So swapping out dies is no problem. Swapping calibers is no problem. It's a very good piece of kit to have for your loading systems. If you're going to be shooting more than one or two calibers, this is the way to do it. My RCBS gets used for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different calibers. And when a friend of mine comes over and uses my press here to do his loading, and he was a little put off when I said, but you're going to need these bits, because he wasn't anticipating that expenditure. But now that he's actually started using it, he really enjoys the fact that this is in here, this system is in here, versus threading it all the way in to make... I went and forgot one, so you got to spin it all the way out and put it back in. Now, these are very positive retention. They lock in there nice and tight, and they sit at their height. And it's just a great piece of kit to be using on a single stage. I'm not recommending any individual single stage or any individual piece of equipment except for these here. These are what I'm talking about right now. These will fit in the Lees, the Dillons, and everything else. Because it's a common size thread in there. Yeah. So this is machined to one size, so it fits into your press, and this threads onto your die. And Bob's your uncle, and in which case he actually was my uncle. He was an Air Force sergeant. Peace out. Catch ya.